showcasing the different layers of the soil, I, Silvera, will be starting with the explanation of the model, followed by Ashmita, Bezo, and Ayana. The topsoil, or the uppermost layer of the soil, is the part of the soil where all the organic matters have got mixed with the nutrients, water, and minerals that are necessary for the growth of the plants.
The second layer of the soil, or the subsoil, contains matter from both the lower and upper layers. It contains organic materials that are considerably weathered.
The third layer of the soil is composed of loose parent material, and this is the first stage of the soil formation process, which eventually forms in the upper two layers.
Underneath all the layer is the rock, which is known as the bedrock. This is all for our project. Thank you.
I'm Pumen Wangchun from class 11C Arts.
Hello guys, my name is Mancha Punyak. I'm also from class 11C Arts.
Hello, my name is Jokata. I'm from class 11C Arts.
And the topic that we are going to talk about today is about the natural vegetation of our country, India. Our country, India, has a very vast and diverse natural vegetation, which constitutes of almost 23% of the entire land area of our nation. The types of natural vegetation that can be found are the tropical evergreen forest, the tropical deciduous forest, the tropical thorny forest, and many other types of vegetation which we are going to talk about now. First, the tropical evergreen forest. The tropical evergreen forest can be found in some northeastern part and the southwestern part of our country, and these forests are thick and multi-layered, and even sunlight can barely reach the surface of these forests. These forests receive an annual rainfall of 100 to 200 centimeters annually, and there are various types of species that can be found in this region of animals and plants. Now let's talk about the tropical deciduous forest. As you can see, the tropical deciduous forest can be found in the northern part of India and receives an annual rainfall of 70 to 100 centimeters annually, and it's the most widespread forest in our country. The deciduous forest can be divided into the dry and moist deciduous forest because on its basis of availability of water. First, let's talk about the dry deciduous forest. The dry deciduous forest receive an annual rainfall of 70 to 100 centimeters annually, and some of its common forests are common trees that can be found in these forests are the pallas, bell, etc. Now let's talk about the moist deciduous forest. The moist deciduous forests are the types of forests that receive an annual rainfall of 100 to 200 centimeters annually, and in this forest, teak, sal, shisham, hura, and sandalwood are some of the major products that are found in this region.
The topic which I'm going to be talking about is tropical thorn forest. Tropical thorn forest occurs in areas which receive rainfall less than 50 centimeters. These areas consist of Rajasthan, Punjab, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. It includes this consists of a variety of grasses and scrubs. In this forest, plants remain leafless for most parts of the year and give an expression of scrub vegetation. The littoral and swamp forest. India has a rich variety of wetland habitats. About 70% of this area comprises of paddy cultivation. The total area of wetland is 3.9 million hectares. In India, the mangrove forest spreads over 6,740 square kilometers, which comprises of 7% of the world's mangrove forest. They are highly developed in areas like Andaman and the Nicobar Islands and the Sundarbans of West Bengal.
So that's the end of our topic. We hope that you liked it and you understand from what we said. So thank you very much.
A very good morning. I am Michelle Mehta from class 11C. Along with my friends, we will be displaying about the different attires and tools used by few Naga tribes. Our traditional attires will be displayed by younger Senna Jamir and Tirna Jamir, followed by Nishali Jaka and Ilivi Jimomi with the Sema attires along with few tools, and I will display about the Angami attires.
Showcasing traditional attire. All this is the mekhala used by the women of the Ao tribe. They are used during festivals and other occasions and to the churches used by the women of the Ao tribe. And this is the shawl used by the man of the Ao tribe. It has various designs on it which are manually woven. Lastly, this is the waistcoat worn by the man which possesses similar designs as that of the shawl worn by them. All these are woven with threads using a piece of bamboo.
I, Tirnla Jamir of 11C belonging to our tribe, have displayed some of my attire, starting off with the necklace and the earrings worn by women folks in certain occasions were made up of glass and bronze metals, which are also incorporated with gold and silver. Next up, I have dao, which is a very common tool used in our time and was used for many purposes such as building houses, cleaning forests, creating weaving tools, and was also used as a weapon.
Today I will be showcasing a few of the traditional weapons used by Nagas previously. Spear was a major hunting tool generally used by the males. In recent, it has become more of a decorative item due to its loss of application. Secondly, we have a petite spear with the same function as the previously mentioned weapon. One of its significant characteristics are the way these spears have been distinctly decorated. The third weapon is the dao. It was used for hunting as well as cutting trees and livestock. Presently, it is still being used for the same purpose.
This mekhala is known as kuloli. Once a marriage is being fixed with everyone's consent, this is given to the girl by her fiancé as a sign of acceptance and his own consent into the marriage. This mekhala is named Kiabu, derived after an incident occurred to a very brave lady. It is decorated with shells and is worn by the women of the Sumi tribe. Tolmi. This is a red robe, also known as a mekhala of the Sumi tribe. It is given to the daughter only when she is a fully grown teenager. The name basically derives into a cloth without tinsels but has neatly stitched edges.
This is called the mekla. It is worn by the Angami women, and in Angami it is called terha. They usually wear this during their festive seasons or during any special occasions or special gatherings. The men also have their own mekla. It is called the kesini, and it is short in length and it is embroidered with shells. They don't usually wear this. They only wear it when they have to perform. And they have a headgear called the tipi, and it is made out of bear's hair. And they both have their own necklaces. It is made out of bloodstone, and this is for the woman and this is for the man. Thank you.
In this video, we will get to know about clouds. Now, I'll tell you quickly how the clouds is formed. When we look at the clouds, it looks like a white fluffy gaseous thing that moves around in the air, right? But then, clouds are actually a large mass of tiny water droplets consisting of liquids, water, and crystal of ice. Clouds are created when water vapor, an invisible gas, turns into liquid water droplets. These water droplets form on tiny particles like dust that are float in the air as clouds. So, according to their heights, expanse, density, and transparency, clouds are grouped under 4 types. They are cirrus, cumulus, stratus, and nimbus. So, first we will discuss about cirrus. They look something like this. Let me show you the picture of it. If we look at it, it looks like a tiny feather. It forms at greater height. Naturally, the temperature is gonna be low. That means these clouds are composed of ice crystals. Second is cumulus. These clouds are formed at 4 to 7 kilometers, and if we see their height, it is lower than cirrus clouds. I'll put the picture of it. It is like a fluffy cotton, but then they have patches and thin craters here and there. Since this is greater than cirrus clouds, it may or may not produce rainfall. If they come close and try to form a bigger clouds, it may rain heavily. One more thing you should know is that cumulus cloud is bigger than cirrus, so it contains more water vapor, water droplets or ice crystals within these clouds. So this was the second cloud. Now let's talk about the third, that is a stratus cloud. Now stratus means existing in layer, that means there is horizontal layer, clouds that covers portion of sky. Here is a picture of it. This is also known as low altitude clouds, meaning they exist in the height of less than 2 kilometers. They found in white and gray color. Since these clouds are found in the lower altitude, they even come down on the surface of the earth in the form of fog. So we also say that stratus clouds are like fog that doesn't reach the ground. The fourth one and the last one is nimbus cloud. Now these clouds are black or dark gray, and they exist in the form of layer just like the stratus cloud, but they cannot be called as stratus clouds. Let's have a look of this picture. These clouds are formed at low altitude, around 3 kilometers or so, and sometimes they are very near to the surface of the earth. As I have said, these clouds are black and dark gray in the color that makes dense and block the rays of the sun from reaching the surface of the earth. These clouds do not have specific shape, but however they are thick and dense, so naturally they consist of large number of water vapor. So this is the four types of clouds present in the atmosphere.
The troposphere. The troposphere is the lowermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere, and its average height is 13 kilometer and extends roughly to a height of 8 kilometer near the pole and about 13 kilometer at the equator. Thickness of the troposphere is greatest at the equator because heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. This layer contains dust particles and water vapors. All changes in climate and weather takes place in this layer. The temperature in this layer decreases at the rate of 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meters of height. This is the most important layer for all biological activity. The zone separating troposphere from stratosphere is known as tropopause. Stratosphere is a layer of the Earth's atmosphere. It is the second layer as you go upwards. Temperature rises as one goes through the stratosphere. Now the main features of stratosphere are as follows. It extends up to the height of 10 km to 50 km. It is a calm and stable layer, unlike the troposphere, which is a turbulent layer. It is free from any weather disturbance like thunderstorm, turbulence, etc. Stratosphere is a layer where 90% of the ozone layers are formed. Now stratopause. Stratopause is a level of the atmosphere where the boundaries between two layers are formed. The stratosphere, and the mesosphere. Thank you.
Mesosphere. Mesosphere lies above the stratosphere and below thermosphere, which extends in the height of 50 km to 80 km. This layer, the temperature starts decreasing in the increase in the altitude. It contains strong zonal winds, atmospheric tides, and planetary waves. This layer is very important for the Earth's protection. The mesosphere burns up most asteroids and meteors before it reaches the Earth's surface. The upper limit of mesosphere is known as mesopause.
Thermosphere. Thermosphere is the atmospheric layer from 80 to 400 km altitude. It is characterized by high temperature and large variability in response to solar ultraviolet radiation and solar-driven geomagnetic activities. It is a very active part of the atmosphere. It grows and shrinks depending on the energy absorbed from the sun. The radio waves transmitted from the Earth are reflected back to the Earth by this layer.
Exosphere is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. This layer separates the rest of the atmospheres from the outer space, which is about 6,200 miles thick, which is almost as wide as the Earth itself. This layer contains gases like hydrogen and helium, which therefore there is no air to breathe and is very cold.
Hello everyone, my name is Watika Limesong of class 11D of Delhi Public School, Dimapur. For the exhibition, the topic that I've chosen is water cycle.
Water cycle, also known as the hydrologic cycle or the hydrological cycle, describes as the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. There are four main parts to the water cycle. The first point being evaporation. Evaporation is when the sun heats up in rivers or lakes or the ocean and turns it into vapor or steam. The water vapor or steam leaves the river, lake, or ocean and goes into the air. The second point, condensation. Condensation in the water cycle is when the air near the surface is heated, then rises, taking heat with it. Water vapor in the air gets cold and changes back into liquid, forming clouds. This is called condensation. The third point, precipitation. Precipitation occurs when so much water has condensed that the air cannot hold it anymore. The clouds get heavy and water falls back to the earth in the form of rain, sleet, snow, and hail. Collection or storage. A lot of the Earth's water does not take part in the water cycle very often. Much of it is stored. The Earth stores water in a number of places. The ocean is the largest storage of water. We can't drink salty ocean water, so fortunately for us, fresh water is also stored in lakes, rivers, and below the ground in groundwater storage, etc.
I am Arjun Gupta of class 9B. In my free time, I love to take photos of nature. Here I represent some of the photos of nature that I captured in my campus.
I'm Moshe Pangyong of class 11C, along with my friends, will be presenting and sharing with you on the topic the different type of weapons used by the Nagas. The first presentation will be on the Naga spear by Toshi Jemir, followed by the Naga Dao by Moshe Pangyong, and lastly the Naga Missile Loader by Imli Hongba.
Spear. Mainly the main offensive weapons of the Nagas are the spear and the dao. The shape and the pattern of both vary from tribe to tribe. The spear is a common weapon used in wars for the Nagas in the earlier days. The spear is about 6 feet long. It is made of some light and strong wood, which has a long leaf-shaped steel blade in a tubular socket on a wooden shaft. Occasionally, the complete spear is of iron and it is useful in hunting big game. The spear is decorated with characteristic stiff of black, white, and red dyed goat hair. The butt of the spear is always tipped with a pointed spike as it is not expected to be kept leaning against the wall. The Nagas on the war path carried 2 spears each. It was an effective weapon up to a range of 30 yards. Mainly some spears with the goat hair on the shaft are used for ceremonial purpose only. Thus, when it comes to weapon, the Nagas is deeply attached to their weapon. This psychology is a legacy of the past when its survival in ruthless society depend upon deities protect.
Dao is a sword of the Naga people. It is a common traditional tool used by the people of Nagaland. It is used for wide varieties of purposes like cutting vegetables, chopping trees, cutting meat, and was once used for head hunting. There are 2 types of daos. One has a longer blade, the other one has a longer handle. The structure of dao looks like a machete. This dao, it has a longer handle which is twice the length of the blade, and the other has a longer blade which is twice the length of the handle. The decoration of the wooden handle also depends on the use of its purpose and according to its tribe. During the head hunting period, the dao of a head hunter was a means of their capabilities, earning their respect from their fellow villagers. It was therefore a great importance in the period of Nagas.
A gun is a gadget with a barrel from which bullets, shells, or other missiles are propelled by explosive force, making a characteristic loud noise. In Nagaland several decades back, the Nagas used the muzzle-loading gun. They were first used by the Konyak tribe. Unlike modern-day guns, the shell and the gunpowder were loaded from the barrel, and it was fired by releasing a pin, where by igniting the gunpowder and pushing the shell forward with great force. Nowadays, almost all tribes of Nagaland uses it during festivals or the demise of rich or important person. It has now become more like an artifact, whether used it for hunting. Thank you.
A very good morning. I'm Bukaliaye from class 11C. Today we'll be speaking on the topic photography based on nature. Nature photography is a wide range of photography taken outdoors and devoted to displaying natural elements such as landscapes, wildlife, plants, and close-up natural scenes and textures. Nature photography tends to put a stronger emphasis on the aesthetic value of the photo than other photography genres such as photojournalism and documentary photography. Nature photography overlaps the fields of and is sometimes considered an overreaching category including wildlife photography, landscape photography, and garden photography. Nature photographs are published in scientific, travel, and cultural magazines such as National Geographic magazine, National Wildlife magazine, or other more specific magazines such as Outdoor Photographer and Nature's Best Photography. Nature in the broadest sense is equivalent to the natural world, physical world, or material world. Nature refers to the phenomena of the physical world and also to life in general. It ranges in scale from the subatomic to the cosmic. The nature may refer to living plants and animals, geological process, weather, and physics such as matter and energy. The term is often referred to the natural environment or wilderness, wild animals, rocks, forests, beaches, and in general areas that have been substantially altered by humans or persists despite human intervention. For example, human nature or the whole of nature. This is more traditional concept of nature implies a distinction between natural and artificial elements of the earth, which the artificial as that which has been brought into being by a human consciousness or a human mind. Photography might seem easy to some people, but there is a lot to it. One thing that couldn't be forgotten is light exposure. Make sure it's the perfect combination of light and dark. If someone were to choose that what is the most important thing in photography, they would say light exposure. It's a given idea. If you don't have a good lighting in your photo, then it isn't a quality photo. Light can give you the dream light, golden light, and if you get that sun and focus the right way, you can get the bokeh effect, which plenty photographers enjoy. In conclusion, photography has a lot of main points, but it's the little things that count the most. Photography is research plenty, and a lot of people would like thought all on the photography career as a main job or even a little hobby, a getaway. Thank you.
The traditional food of Nagaland has been widely appreciated for its outstanding use of herbs and spices. We brought you this connection in First Good. It is a startup that provides traditional food from various districts of Nagaland. Our group has made smoked pork, which is one of the traditional food of Nagaland. To make this curry, we require meat, eggzounds, green chili, red chili, and some onions. And here is a short video on how we made it, and hope you guys enjoy it.
Cooking can be more than just making food for day-to-day meals. It can transform routine to a passion. Cooking may be the oldest and most widespread application of chemistry, and recipes may be the oldest practical result of chemical research. We have illustrated just a few food items and the chemistry behind them. There are many more items out there and even more chemical knowledge to gain. Food chemistry will always be an important and necessary area of research. Thank you.
A very good morning to one and all. I, Ariel Tele of Class 11C DPS Dimapur,
On behalf of my team members, Kevini Nyobelho, Alina Gorang, and Shatiodang Jamir, would welcome you to our presentation. For this exhibition, the topic we choose is photography on society. Photography is an act of telling stories through a series of photographs. Photography has impacted society greatly, if it's in a positive or in a negative way. Here, our exhibition showcases the society and livelihood of Dimapur town.
Greetings everyone. Today I am Maren Suma and my group members Yashisola, Moningang, Lumgalu and Imli Sunak from class 11 C Arts will be explaining on the procedure of making mushroom stand out of tinder and touchwood. The pot of the stand is made up of cloth dried in cement. The equipment required for making the stand were red and brown acrylic paints, white cement, touchwood paint. We use two types of mushrooms, artist bracket and oyster mushroom, found in local markets of Nagaland.
First step, we cleaned the wood and sculpted it with a sculpture to make some designs on it. Second step, we painted it with red and brown acrylic paints and dried it for a day. Third step, we dry cleaned the mushrooms out in the sun and added a tint of touchwood for glue.
Fourth, we took a basket and dried cloth coated with white cement to hold it, and painted it with the same paint like we use for wood. Fifth step, we took a dry mushroom and fixed it with hammer at random place.
Although mushrooms can be poisonous to digest, we can still make some handy items with it. And for that, we would like to thank the Social Science Department for giving us this opportunity to present our handicraft mushroom stand. Thank you.
My name is Ainal Sangyal and I'm class 11D.
Hello everyone, my name is Manmai Kunyak and I'm from class 11D.
Hello everyone, my name is Mongse Tamai and the topic of our project is river system.
River systems are a very important part of North Carolina and its geology and organisms. The main parts of the river system are river source, the confluence, the tributary, the main river, the meander, the oxbow lake, the delta, and the river mouth. Firstly, I would like to explain about the river source. This part is moderately self-explanatory, but I'll explain it anyway. This is where the river starts. The water here can come from water collected from the rain on the surface known as runoff. Melted water from a glacier or water that comes in from the ground is called groundwater. The next I'll be explaining about tributary. There are feeder streams that flow into a main river. They don't go as far as before, converging into another larger stream or rivers.
So the next part is I'm gonna say about the meander. A meander is a curve of a river. You will notice that river, curves and wind, these curving areas are called meanders. And now I'll say about the confluence. As you can tell by the model, confluence is where the small stream and river converge, pretty simple stuff. And the last is the delta. They are formed in the lower course of the river and they are nothing but a shape. So this is our topic. I hope you like our video. Thank you.
I am Limiza Tiasumi from class 11D, working on this project, Handicraft, with Sasela, Kivika, Nilopu, and Asa. We have together made a model of a morung, an old traditional Naga home.
What are handicrafts? A handicraft, sometimes more expressed as an artisanal handicraft or handmade, is any of a wide variety of types of work where useful and decorative objects are made completely by one's hand, hence the term handicraft, or by using simple tools like scissors, carving implements, or hooks. It is a traditional main sector of craft making and applies to a wide range of creative and design activities that are related to making things with one's own hands and skills, including work with paper, wood, fibers, etc. What is a Naga morung? The morung or youth dormitory used to be an essential part of Naga life. Elders conveyed the Naga culture, customs, and tradition through folk music and dance, wood carvings, and weaving to the young while they live in the morungs. One of the earliest definitions of the word morung was given by Edward Winter Clark, the American Baptist missionary to the Naga Hills, in the Au Naga Dictionary, compiled in 1911. According to him, the word morung is derived from the Assamese word which means big tree trunk. As a big tree was found to be kept in the Naga villages near the bachelor's dormitory, the Assamese people called the dormitory itself morung. Apart from the general usage of the term, each Naga tribe has a name for it. Making of the model. Materials used: wood, paint, tools, glue, and varnish. The model was made with adult help and supervision. It was made by cutting the wood into desired shapes and sizes to make the model. Later we used glue to stick the parts together. We left it to dry before we started painting it with different patterns signifying the Naga culture. Then we varnished the wood for hard protective finish. We added more pieces to the model to make it more realistic.
Hello everyone, my name is Lilo Shohe of grade 9B, Delhi Public School, Dimapur. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you the pictures of flowers that are grown in our place.
Walking down 29th and Park, I saw you in another's arm. Only a month we've been apart. You look happier. Saw you walk inside a bar. You said something to make you laugh. I saw that both your smiles were twice as wide as ours, yeah.
Oh hiyo, hiyo, oh hiyo, 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 oh he yo, he yo, 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 oh he yo.
Can you guess what thread binds Aryabhata's discovery of 0 and pi to Valmiki's Ramayana, or what is common between Kalidasa's great work Abhigyan Shakuntalam? Well, all these great legends hail from the ancient land of Bihar, the Mauryan Empire, the first ever dynasty of India and the biggest empire in the world. It was established by the Indian Emperor Chandragupta Maurya under the guidance of the political genius Chanakya. The great mathematician Aryabhata, the inventor of zero, was from this holy land. Bihar has a rich spiritual and religious history. Lord Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya. Lord Mahavira, the 24th Tirthankara of Jainism, was born in Vaishali. He attained enlightenment in Pawapuri. The 10th Guru of Sikh, Guru Gobind Singh, was born in Patna. The famous Mithila painting or Madhubani art is practiced in the Mithila region. Bihar is the first region in the world that challenged monarchy and came up with a new administrative pattern called Ganatantra or democracy. Bihar gave our country its first president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Kesaria is the location of the world's largest Buddhist stupa. Muzaffarpur, also known as the land of Shahi Lichis. Nalanda University is said to be the world's first university. It attracted its students from as far as Tibet, China, Greece and Persia. Historians consider this to be the demise of the ancient Indian scientific thought in mathematics, astronomy and anatomy. Bihar places great importance in tradition and culture. Celebration of festivals is a great experience. Considered the god of energy, the sun is worshipped with great fervor during the Chhath festival. Almost 25% of the civil servants are from Bihar. At last, Bihar has a rich culture and tradition. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ninnoto of class 9B, Delhi Public School, Dimapur. Today I'm gonna share you some pictures of flowers that are grown in my place.
My name is Maki V.S. Shipto, class 11, section D, and I have chosen about one of the cuisines of the Naga tribe. Akhuni is one of the most popular cuisines of the Nagaland, and it is being mostly eaten by the Naga tribe, that is Sumi. And this akhuni is not being eaten only in Nagaland, but it is also being eaten in the other state, and it is being known by different names. It is being eaten in other states like the like Sikkim, Mizoram, Assam, Manipur, and it's also being eaten in some various other countries like China, Nepal, Bhutan, Indonesia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Korea, etc. And it is said that in the two decades, the ingredient has traveled beyond the states as students and professions have traveled out of the states, and they've been going to the other cities like the Delhi and Mumbai for their further studies, and it is said that it is carried along with them. And now I would like to say about like how this akhuni is prepared. So there are two ways in which this akhuni is prepared. One is prepared either dry or the other is prepared like the paste. The preparatory steps for both are the same. We soak it overnight, build it in water till it becomes soft but not too soft. Then thereafter the water is drained and it is being put in the bamboo basket lined with bamboo leaves. Then it is kept over in a fireplace for the process of fermentation. While all the household in the village have a fireplace in the kitchen, in cities fermentation can be done by keeping directly under the sun or in a terrace, but the result comes out same. And when we were kids, we were said that we are not allowed to burn even a piece of paper or plastic on the fireplace where the akhuni is being fermented. It is said that if we burn this paper or plastics under the fireplace where the akhuni is being fermented, the smell and the taste of the akhuni changes. And it was said that this akhuni was being discovered accidentally, and this akhuni, it is popular in our state, that is Nagaland, and it is being mostly eaten by the Sumis tribe of the Nagaland. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Nachiketa Sanasam. I study in class 9B, Delhi Public School, Dimapur. Today I'll be sharing some of the photos which I clicked during the pandemic. Let's take a look.